Hey, good morning. It's Monday. Sorry for missing last week, guys. It was the end of Monday before I realized that it was Monday. Um, it was a really weird weekend, and everything was kind of out of sorts with Christmas and all the stuff that was going on. So, anyway, I'm back, and so tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Sorry for the. There we go. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and it's the end of the old, the start of the new, and it's time to look at new habits and stuff. Now, there are a lot of people out there who will tell you that doing New Year's resolutions and starting new things in the new year and stuff is no different than doing it at any other time of the year. And to a certain extent, they are correct. Okay, there's no magic that happens. There's no magic that happens when the Gregorian calendar clicks over to a new year. There's nothing inherently special about 2020 starting. There's no special magic that will shift and suddenly leave you being more organized, better able to lose weight, or the rest of it. Okay? It doesn't exist. On the other hand, as human beings, we're very calendar based, especially in North America. And so the new year is bred into us as being a time of change. It's a time of changing over from the old to the new. It's the end of taxes for the previous year. You sum up your mortgage. Everything is kind of ending, and then there are new beginnings. So the reason that a lot of us start these things on the 1st of January is because mentally speaking, our entire society and our culture is based around this idea that on January 1st, something special happens. So even though nothing exterior magic happens, there is an interior quality to that that is real. I mean, we do create a certain level of our own reality. So if you feel like New Year's Eve is something special for you and New Year's Day is something new and exciting, okay, great, use that. I know for me, this week after Christmas has kind of been like my new year. Um, I've gotten kind of through the rush of doing Christmas with family and Christmas with the boyfriend and Christmas here and Christmas there and all of the cleanup from that. I've gotten the dishes down to a dull roar and all of the laundry is done. So, I'm ready to start things new. Um, I also noticed that, over Christmas, I ate a little bit more of the sweet and bready things, and that has meant that there's been a significant going upward trend in the numbers on the scale. And I don't like that, so I have to go and deal with that. It's nothing major, but it is something that I have to pay attention to. And so now that it's New Year, I get to ignore all of the candies and cookies and things because I don't need to eat those anymore. I am going to enjoy New Year's Eve because I'm going to an adult pajama party. Woo! I think we're going to get drunk and play Cards Against Humanity and hang out with a bunch of weird people who are also geeks and nerds. So that's awesome. But come January 1st, I'm going to be continuing with, not starting, but continuing with my exercise regime. And I'm going to get back on the editing bandwagon because it's very important. I now have my novel back from my editor. So the second Alexander book has to be gone through really quick by me. And I'm going to keep you guys up to date on that as I go through it. But starting on January 2nd, when I actually have time to be home, because I won't be home on the 1st, I'm going to be sitting down, opening that up, going through, reading it. And as soon as that's finished, I'll be working on the cookbook. And that's a whole other thing because I have to decide whether I'm going to put photos in it and all the rest of it. But I'm I'm really excited about both. Uh, there's a lot to be said for the Alex book. It's been read penned to death, so I have a lot of things I need to fix in it. But I feel a lot more motivated in fixing it because it's not just me doing it. I have editing marks from someone other than myself, and that helps. As an author, it's really hard to edit my own work. I'm really great at editing other people's work. By the way, I do that if you are looking for somebody to edit things. Hi. Um, Excuse me. But when I'm editing my own stuff, I'm my own harshest critic. I look at something and I go, "That's not perfect. I have to rewrite it. I have to redo it." And I spend a lot of time rewriting things that wouldn't be noticeable to other people. And that's not a good use of my time. So having another editor looking at my work and marking it up for me and making suggestions is so helpful. I cannot stress how important it is. Even if it's just a friend with a very good command of the English language, even if you can't afford to pay somebody, that's the boat I'm in right now. Um, it Having somebody who understands the language and who understands your characters and your world and letting them do a once over on your novel is so helpful because they're going to see things you don't. They're going to catch errors that you wouldn't, and they're going to point out that things you think are horrible are just fine. They really are. So I have one problematic section, which is the place that I knew was problematic anyway, and a couple of minor things, and then I'll be ready to publish. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be really honest, this is the first time since about October that I've been excited about the second book. Um, I really was down on myself because I mucked up that one section and I really didn't like how it went and it wasn't complete enough. And now I have some place to go with it. I have some suggestions that were made, and I'm ready to do this, and I'm hyped up about it. So January is going to see the publishing of the second novel, and I know I've said that through October and then December, and then now I'm saying January, but I think I actually mean it this time. Um, I really want it out there because I've had so many requests for it, and then I really want to get the cookbook out because that has turned out to be really exciting. I have a lot of recipes in there that are fantastic. I have a lot of people who've commented on the recipes, who've given feedback. I don't know what it is about getting on camera that makes me yawn. I swear to God. Um, but yeah, I've had a ton of feedback on the recipes because I had other people try the recipes a few times. Um, and I have feedback that I got this past summer from when we were cooking over the fire. I It's come together so incredibly well, better than I had hoped for. Considering I've never written a cookbook before and this was kind of a brand new idea for me, rather than just tossing the recipes on the page, I actually went into history and the reasons why we use certain things and how-tos and some very simple through to some very complex stuff. It sort of turned into this huge um, textbook, really, but it's completely usable as just a cookbook. So if all you want is yummy recipes and maybe some anecdotal stories that I might possibly tell that are funny in the book, you can just pick it up for that. If you're a history buff, you're going to love it because I've got so much stuff. And if you're one of those people who's a research um, whore, like I am, you'll really enjoy it because I have all my sources listed in there. I have a huge bibliography. I have links. I have books that I've read. There's so many references because I got all this information from so many different places. Some of them were hard copy books. Some of them were internet resources. Some of them were people interviews with people. Other cookbooks. There was just so much research that was done, and I enjoyed it so much. There's there's a level of fascination that happens when I start doing research for something like this. I go down a really deep rabbit hole. And so this was really different for me because usually I spend most of November word vomiting on the page. And basically, every time I did a recipe, I had to do also a little research. I did some research on this stuff in the couple of months leading up to NaNoWriMo, but I mean, there are detailed things that didn't happen until November. So there was research and writing going on in there. So it took me a longer time. I dedicated a lot more computer time to creating the cookbook than I did to writing the fictional novels. But I'm really pleased with the end result, and I think you will be too. The, um, the recipes are so good. I actually just made the chickpea crack for our Yule party, and it's so yummy. It really is. I can't even speak to how delish it is. And then I have tons of meaty goodness. I have some cheese dishes. I have vegetarian, vegan, gluten free. There's a little bit of everything in there. And how to modify recipes to meet the needs of those who might be attending your campsite, your feast, your household dinner, whatever it is. So I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed writing it because I can't tell you how excited I am to get it out there. So I will update you when I start on the editing and final editing process for the cookbook. That won't be for another few months. Probably, I'm hoping that by March I'll be like kind of dead center of it. Um, because my hope is to get it out the second and third week of April so that I have it on hand when I go to events starting in May. Because I plan on having cookbooks on hand for those people who say, "Do you guys have a cookbook?" Yes, yes, we do. And then I can hand it off. I'm really excited about that. So I hope you guys are prepared for New Year. If you're drinking, please don't drive. If you are drinking, do so responsibly. And just a note, there are a lot of people for untold numbers of reasons who don't drink. Don't be an ass and don't push them. Saying, "Would you like a drink?" And if the answer is orange juice, say, "Hey, I don't have orange juice, but I've got cranberry. Will that do?" Don't say, "Hey, do you want vodka in that?" There are people who are in AA, there are people who are pregnant, there are people with health problems, there are people who have balance issues, there are people who've just chosen not to drink. It's none of your damn business why they don't drink. Now, me, I'm drinking. I don't have to drive. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to be someplace where I'm comfortable and settled for the evening. I'm going to get quite drunk and I'm going to play Cards Against Humanity for the first time, I might add, and just have a lot of fun with friends and family and enjoy myself. I hope that you have a safe and prosperous new year, and I hope I will see you all again next year and next Monday. You guys have a great time, and I hope your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Bodhi Day, Yule, and anything else you might happen to celebrate were fantastic and wonderful because I know mine was. Love you all. Bye bye.